The 2024 elections sent shockwaves through South Africa. The ANC, the party of Nelson Mandela, faced an unprecedented reality, a reduced majority and the very real prospect of coalition government. For the first time since the end of apartheid, the ANC found itself navigating uncharted waters. The party that had once been synonymous with liberation was now grappling with the complexities of a multi-party democracy. The ANC's electoral decline, while not entirely unexpected, has exposed deep-seated anxieties within its ranks. The party's traditional support base, particularly among young urban voters, has eroded, frustrated by persistent inequality and a lack of economic opportunities. The ANC's internal struggles, often marked by factionalism and allegations of corruption, have further alienated voters. The party's moral high ground, once unassailable, has been tarnished. The ANC now faces a stark choice: cling to power through alliances with smaller parties, potentially compromising its values and further alienating its base, or embark on a period of introspection, confronting its internal demons and embarking on a path of renewal. The decisions made in the coming months will have profound implications not only for the ANC but for South Africa's future. The stakes are incredibly high. The ANC's internal debates reflect a broader struggle within the South African left. On one hand, there's the legacy of Thabo Mbeki, advocating for market-driven growth and African renaissance. On the other, figures like Kgalema Motlanthe represent a more cautious approach to economic liberalization, emphasizing social justice and the plight of the poor. Cyril Ramaphosa, the current president, finds himself precariously balanced between these factions. Within this already fractured landscape, the economic freedom fighters EFF, led by the fiery Julius Malema, have emerged as a potent force. The EFF's radical rhetoric, calling for land expropriation and nationalization of key industries, has resonated with those disillusioned by the ANC's perceived failures. The EFF's presence in parliament has emboldened the ANC's more radical factions, further complicating the party's internal dynamics. This internal tug-of-war is not merely ideological, it's about access to resources and power. The ANC's patronage networks, deeply entrenched after decades in government, fuel much of the infighting. As the party's dominance wanes, so too does its control over these networks. This reality has further intensified the struggle for control within the ANC. The fear of losing not just political power, but also access to patronage is a powerful motivator. The ANC's electoral decline has created space for opposition parties to gain ground. The Democratic Alliance, DA, once seen as a party of white privilege, has made significant inroads among black middle-class voters. The DA's message of good governance and economic opportunity resonates with those seeking an alternative to the ANC. The IFP, with its stronghold in KwaZulu-Natal, has also seen a resurgence. The DA and IFP, once bitter rivals, have found common cause in their opposition to the ANC. Both parties recognize the historic opportunity presented by the ANC's weakened state. They are actively courting smaller parties and disgruntled ANC members to form a potential coalition government. This strategic alliance, while pragmatic, is not without its own challenges. The DA and IFP have vastly different constituencies and policy priorities. The DA's focus on free markets and limited government intervention contrasts sharply with the IFP's more traditional, community-based approach. Bridging these ideological divides will be crucial if they are to forge a united front against the ANC. The success or failure of this opposition alliance will have far-reaching consequences for South Africa's political landscape.